So as I was sitting here thinking, I was looking at the seniors, and I was thinking back to all of my fond memories with them, and I was trying to figure out what classes I had all of them. And I think I counted at least 5 different classes. We were in biology, and ESL reading, ESL Bible, statistics, and this year we got to share A&P together. So it's been a wonderful time for me, and I think for them too, to experience school, OA, and life together. And they had asked me to speak today when, I think it was Candy that initially asked me. She said that one of the reasons was because I'm known for my interactions. In my morning worships and other talks, I never let you guys just sit down. And I see you guys nodding, and that's true today. So because there's so many of us, you're just going to stay where you are, but I'm going to ask you to stand for a couple different reasons. First, I want you to stand if you are over 18 or have graduated, and at that point in life, you had a plan for your life. So if you are over 18 and have graduated, and you had a plan for your life at that time. You have to think back. Some think more than others. Okay, so seniors, I want you to take a look. These were the people that at their point in graduation and at this time in their life, they had a plan for the rest of their lives. Now I want you to stay standing if you followed this plan. Sit down if you got rid of the plan, but stay standing if you followed that plan that you had. Okay, so about 4 people have followed the plan that they had at graduation. All right, now, same category. If you are over 18 or have graduated, and stand up if you did not have a plan for your life at graduation. Okay, seniors, take a look. These are the people that were sitting in your seat, and they did not have a plan for their life. All right, thank you. Now for those under 18, for those who have not graduated yet, I want you to stand up if you have a detailed plan for your life. A detailed plan. You know what you want to do, you know where you want to go, what your life is going to be like after graduation. Okay? Seniors, this includes you. If you do. Okay, thank you. If you are under 18 and have not graduated, and you know the general direction that you're going to go when you graduate, you have a general idea, but the details aren't figured out yet. Okay, thank you. And now, stand up if you have no idea what you want to do with your life.
And you're under 18.
And you're under 18. It's okay. You can admit it. Alright, thank you. So, I saw some people didn't stand, maybe you're embarrassed to admit it, but I want to tell you guys that no matter what category you have fallen in, it's okay. For me, I was in the first of the categories. I had a very detailed plan for my life. When I was 5 years old, I decided that I wanted to be a doctor. I didn't know what type of doctor, and as I grew older, I varied between pediatrician and veterinarian and surgeon and neurosurgeon and all of those types of things. And then in my senior year of high school, I decided, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Southern and graduate there with a biology degree. Then I'm going to go to Loma Linda and graduate there as a doctor. This was my plan. Because, here was my reasoning. I wanted to help people, and I like science and math. And if you like science and math and you want to help people, you have to become a doctor. So that was my plan. But at the end of senior year, I realized that I had no money, and I couldn't go to Southern, so I started applying to the local community college. This was about March when my financial letter came in and it said, you get this much in financial aid. Mine wasn't enough. Then in June, I don't know what happened in my mind, but I was like, I really want to go to Southern. So I begged my parents and somehow we found the money and I was able to go to Southern. And at Southern, I had an amazing year. I'm so glad that I went for many different reasons. Many different reasons. But then came the time when I was looking at my second year, and I came to the same problem. I didn't have any money. And the way that Southern scholarships worked at the time, you got a really good freshman scholarship, and then sophomore scholarships were really bad. So come sophomore year, I didn't have any money, and I was like, well, what do? At that time, I found out about Southern being a student missionary through Southern. And in this, you go abroad for a year through Southern and serve and come back and they give you a scholarship. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do to get money. So I decided to go to Poland because that's where I'm from, and I think that's the only country my parents would let me go to. So I went to Poland to be an ESL teacher, and I taught classes from 5-year-olds, which was very, very interesting to have 5-year-olds for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and trying to teach them English. To, I think my oldest student was about 60 years old because he wanted to learn English. And there I learned something about myself. I learned that I did not want to become a doctor. I learned that I liked teaching. Also, I started thinking and planning, and I realized to become a doctor, it cost way too much money. Teaching would have been much simpler. So I loved to teach, and I was like, okay, what do I do now? I was coming back and still didn't have any money to go back to school. Scholarship was still not enough. And then through a connection of mine, I learned of Oklahoma Academy. And I said, well, I wonder if I could teach there. My major at Southern was biology at the time. We needed a biology teacher now. So I applied, and I didn't feel like I was going to be accepted here as a teacher. For one, I felt very underqualified. I had only 1 year of experience, and I was only teaching ESL, not teaching biology. So why would the school accept me? I don't know what happened in executive meeting, but they did accept me. And now I've been here for 4 years. And it's been 4 years. Looking back, I see that God has led every step of my path. Every step in going to Southern, in not going back to Southern. There was an instance that I was this close to getting a full ride at Southern. I took the SAT once. I got a great score. I was like, okay, that's good. I didn't take it again. If I would have taken it again, I would have gotten a higher score, high enough probably to get the full ride. And I missed out on that. If I would have gotten that full ride, my life would have been completely different. I would not be here. I would not be married, probably, and I would not have my little baby girl, because I would still be at Southern, focused on that. But God has led in everything. And this made me think of a character in the Bible who had God directed his path as well, even though it didn't feel like it for him. And this was for Joseph. What was Joseph's plan? What do you think it was? He was about a teenager. I think his plans changed. What would you say his plan for his life was? Be a shepherd. Be with his family, probably eventually help the family, stay in that area, work there, right? His brothers were actually afraid that he would take over the family business. It was supposed to go to the oldest, but since Joseph was the favorite, they were afraid that he would take over. So I imagine Joseph to have been a very good student, very diligent. His dad was very happy with him, and I think his dad had very high expectations for what Joseph would do and what he would become. I think this is the same as all as your parents. You guys are good students, and your parents are happy with you guys. They have high expectations for you. And I think he had a very good plan for his life. But this plan was destroyed. It was shattered and ruined when his brothers sold him into slavery. So what did he do with this broken plan? I think he cried a bit, probably. I think he panicked and freaked out. But then it says in Patriarchs and Prophets, on the day that Joseph was sold, he had a conversion experience. He said, God, I'm going to give you everything in my life. He remembered the stories that his father told him, and he said, I want the God of my father to be my God. And he dedicated his whole life to working for God, no matter where he went. He chose to glorify God and to bless others. So, he started working, which some of you guys might be doing very soon. And others. Starting work. And he said, in this work, I am going to glorify God. And he did. And he prospered and he rose to the top of Potiphar's household. And then this wonderful plan got destroyed again. He was arrested. And in that decision to deny Potiphar's wife, he knew the consequences of that choice. He knew that if he would say no to her, that he would be put back to the bottom of everything again. But he made that choice to stay true to God, to glorify God, and he accepted the consequences of being arrested. So, now he's in prison. And I can see maybe in his mind he's going through the struggle again. But I think he rededicated himself. And he said, look, God, things aren't going my way. But you know what? Not my will, but yours. He dedicated himself again to God. And again he rose. God blessed that dedication and made him second in the kingdom. So, was this Joseph's plan? No. This was not Joseph's plan. This whole life in Pastor, was it better than what he had in mind? I think so. He was able to bless thousands of more people. Because of him, probably Egypt was saved. His family was saved from that famine. It was so much better than what he could have imagined. So what was Joseph's part of this? What did Joseph have to do for this plan to work? Surrender? Give everything to God? He had to glorify God. And he had to say, not my will, Lord, but yours. So, this plan that God had, it included a lot of preparation. His life at home with his parents prepared him, I think, in the spiritual sense. He got the stories of how God led his family. Then as a slave, he learned how to work. He learned how to work hard. But he also made connections. Because Potiphar was a very powerful man in the Egyptian system. So he made lots of connections. He met the right people at the right times. He saw how things worked. In prison, he learned more about perseverance and dedication. And all of this helped him to be the person that was capable of being second in command. He was fit and prepared and made for that job. Now to you guys. You're young. You might not feel young, but you're young. You're only 18-ish. Your whole life does not have to be planned out. And I feel like that's a huge pressure that is put onto seniors, because probably the number one question that has been asked to you guys in the past 2 weeks is, what are you doing now? What next? What are you doing this summer? What are you doing next year? What's going on in your life? So I feel like there's a lot of pressure. But now I'm going to think back to your time at Arroyo, a little bit beforehand. you have been prepared. We have tried to prepare you. Through the vocational program, we have tried to teach you how to work. A lot of 18-year-olds do not know how to work. Where you guys will go to apply for a job, you will be able to say, I have work experience in an office, I have work experience with children, I have work experience in this and this and this, thanks to your time here. We have tried to prepare you academically. We've tried to teach you how nature works, how your body works, how your mind works, how the world, the United States, how all of that stuff works in hopes that this will help you later in life. We have also tried to teach you problem solving, teamwork, responsibility, leadership, how to be a part of a church, how to sing or play instruments so that you can bless others. So you've had all of this preparation maybe forced at you, or you've taken it willingly, to prepare you for something in your life. We don't know what that is, but hopefully you have learned your lessons here. If you haven't learned it, God will still teach it to you. It might be in a little more difficult way. If you haven't learned how to be responsible, you're going to learn. But God will put you where you need to be. And I see this looking back in my life at how God prepared me. In high school, we had to do community service. I forget how many hours of community service we had to do a week. So for me, what I did for community service is I stayed after school to help my teachers grade and to tutor students, which was awesome preparation for becoming a teacher. At Southern, I was also a teacher's assistant for one of my classes, for one of my biology classes. Part of that was to take care of the fruit flies that we were experimenting on, which was a preparation in a different sense. But I also was cleaning the dorm, which is a preparation in itself, to be a hard worker, to be clean, which is things that I might still be working on. In Poland, I learned how to teach. I was thrown into it. At Southern, they tried to prepare us a little bit, but not enough. My first class, well, one of my first classes, I have this memory very strong in my mind. It was two girls. They were about 16 years old. They were learning because in Poland, at the end of high school, they give you a huge test. Kind of like the SAT or the ACT. And based on this test, it regulates what schools you can go into. If you don't have a score high enough, you can't go into certain schools. And one of the subjects was English, and that's what she was wanting to learn about. So at the end of our first lesson, I asked her, what do you want to learn? In English, what do you know that you have struggles with? And she looked at me and she said, well, I'm really struggling with the present perfect and the past perfect and the present and past participles. And when do I use them and how do I use them? And I just sat there and I was like, very good question. We will talk about that next class. And I went home and I studied and I learned everything there was to know about it. And next class I was able to teach it to them. I learned how to build relationships with people, how to be able to minister through teaching, because that is a ministry in itself. Here at OA, I have learned how to be a better teacher every year. Those that had me my first year might have been a little rough, but we made it through, and I think every year God has made me a better teacher. I think all of this has prepared me to be a mom. She's 5 months old now. I have to talk about her. She's 5 months old now, but I think working with teenagers prepares me for working with babies. I think there's some correlation. But God has prepared me for the things that He has led me to, and He will prepare you. He has prepared you. Maybe there are still lessons for you guys to learn. Like it says, like Louise read in Jeremiah 29:11, it says, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. God knows where you're going to end up. He knows the plan that He has for you. So, trust God's leading. He will lead you where you need to be. Don't stress if you don't have a plan. Some of you might not have a plan yet. Don't stress, it's okay. And don't stress if your plans change. You might want to go somewhere, you might want to be a doctor, and God will show you 2 years later that you're meant to be a doctor. That's okay. Pray. Pray before you go through anything. Before you make your decisions, pray about them. Get advice from people you trust. And listen to them. It might not be something that you agree with, but it's good to hear. Get advice, and then do something. The worst thing to do is just to sit at home and watch TV and do stuff on the computer and not do it. Do something, even if it's not what you're going to do for the rest of your life. You're going to maybe go for a year and teach somewhere. That will give you experience. That will give you preparation for what you're going to do later. And remember that the same shoe does not fit all feet. Some of you might be going to college right away. Some of you might be going to college in a little bit. Some of you might be working to save for college, or whatever plans you have, God will lead you through them. So here's my challenge, to make a plan. Even though you're not going to follow through with it, maybe later on, make the plan, have something to work for. Have some goal to reach. That goal might change, but that's okay. Because your number one goal should be to glorify God, bless others, and make sure that it's His will you're following, not your own. So let's have a word.
Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for these seniors. I pray that you be with them as they plan their lives, as they're looking forward to what you want them to do. I pray that they may keep you first, that they may do everything to bless the people that are around them, and that they may keep your will first in their lives. I pray this in your name. Amen.
This right there.
I really enjoyed how she brought everything out tonight, and I enjoyed especially how she brought the Bible verse, Jeremiah 9:11, how she mentioned, that God gives us lots of peace, and we can trust and have faith that God will give us peace and through all our lives. I enjoyed how she put the story of Joseph out there, how Joseph, it seemed like he was going in a certain direction, and at the end, certain events started happening in his life, and at the end, God ended up leading in his life, because he gave everything to God. And I feel like for most of us, or all of us who has a plan, and we can see how God used us for something greater later in life. I really enjoyed her personal testimony, how she had a plan, and how at the end of the result, God ended up using her for something greater. And I'm very blessed that she accepted to speak for us tonight, and how she put everything together to put our aim and our love together. Amen. Good evening. My name is Candy. Obviously I'm a senior. So I was thinking when she was saying about, plan for future and stuff. So I did have my plan when I was young. I think it was like when I was a kindergartner. And then I wanted to be a model. And I realized later on, I'm too short. So at one point I wanted to be a, like children clothing model maybe, but never mind. So, and throughout the years it changed, what I want to be, what I should be. But always my first question was, what job makes the most money? And I thought oftentimes we forget about glorify God and bless others, and we think my will, not His will. And I noticed, in my life that
I wanted something that can get me somewhere, not thinking that I wanted to get somewhere with gospel. So, I thought, how many times do I yield to the world, not to God? So it was really a blessing to have Miss Julia speak for us, to realize that I want to make my aim for my life aim.
Happy Sabbath, everyone.
Happy Sabbath.
My name is Jules, and thank you, Miss Julia, for that talk. It was just as good as her food. I was in a staff home this year, and it was truly a blessing to be with Mr. Daniel and Miss Julia. And so her talk, in my life, there's been lots of changes, especially when I wanted to be. I want to be an engineer, or lawyer, or whatever is out there. And I never really truly had a passion for one thing. And in my high school, I thought I'm just going to graduate, get money, and then live life good. But then when I came to Oklahoma Academy, I actually did not want to come here at first. And my parents told me about the move and everything. And so I felt like Oklahoma Academy was kind of my beach experience, as Joseph had. And just like Joseph, he was truly blessed, and so was I. Getting the opportunity to lead out and be a leader to the guys as an RA, being able to serve the school, talking with people, talking with the staff, getting guidance, scrubbing toilets, getting time cards. Everything has been a blessing, and this year I really did find my passion, what I really like to do. And it truly is to serve others in a very more spiritual sense. And this year has been quite amazing, and I can't wait what God has in store. And my will is to be His servant and use Him for anything that He wants me to do.
Amen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Samuel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the message. And, since I was little, well, I think they say little, but since I was little, I wanted to be everything. I wanted to be too smart. I wanted to be a lawyer, teacher, doctor, or whatever. And I thought I could do many things in college, like take all of them at the same time. And so, one of the biggest things I've learned coming to OA was to listen. Because I never find myself doing something, a specific thing. I wanted to do a lot of things at the same time. But coming to OA, getting to know other cultures, made me willing to learn and to listen to God. And as I listened to God, He showed me what am I good at, and why should I be good at, and think, let's acknowledge and glorify God.